Step right up, folks. You're now entering It's a Circus, where parenting isn't always a show-stopping act, but it's certainly entertaining. I'm your host, Elsa, here to prove that no one really knows what they're doing, and that's perfectly fine. Let's have some real conversations, peel back the layers, and remind you that you're never alone in the madness. Let's get the show rolling. Happy New Year, everyone! This is my first solo episode for 2026, and I'm just pumped. I'm just feeling a lot of momentum and energy, and not just for me, but really for the world. I feel like my algorithm's there. There's space and ideas and excitement that are coming from like people around me, and it just feels like a big year. And I am someone who is always a goals person. So I think I've been writing yearly goals since I was in high school. And I usually spend my goal creation and thinking really around my birthday. That's like when, I have like my real personal ones. But I love new energy, and I love a fresh start, and I love a change, and I love a pivot, and like the new year just brings that. So it's hard not to not do something around the new year too. In the spirit of the new year, in the spirit of kind of what 2026 could mean, I am sharing some words that I am just kind of holding on to for this year. So they're not quite goals, and it's not that specific, but they are words that represent energy and what I hope to bring and what I feel like it's going to bring and feel really aligned for me. And I think what's interesting around this time of year and around goal setting in general is there's a couple different schools of thought, and one of them is like, let's be very specific. Let's break it down per month, per day, per week, per hour, what those goals are and how you're going to achieve them, and make sure that you absolutely hit them 110%. So there's that. Then I think there's kind of like broad stroke goals that are just like, hey, this is like the momentum I'm going with. And then there's these like aspirational goals too, which are like big picture, hey, I hope to get there, and all of that. And I have been a student of self-improvement, motivation. If you were to look at my library, it's all like self-improvement books, which I think initially is very good and positive. And I love different points of view too. I love trying different things on to see what fits and what works and what resonates. And there's a couple of things that I have learned is that if you can set goals that feel aligned with you and that you're open to, I think that is a lovely thing to do for you, depending on what season that you're in. I think where it can be really damaging is if you are really rigid and hard on yourself and not open to like what flows at you. So like if you're building out goals from like a controlling sense, like, oh, nothing can get in the way of these goals, then maybe you're missing, opportunities that you didn't anticipate, or feel this like incredible disappointment if something doesn't work out exactly according to plan. There's like shame spirals too, like, oh, like I'm not good enough to get into that. Or, you kind of beat yourself up unintentionally where it's really damaging versus empowering and a learning experience. And I've lived in that world before where goals can kind of be really toxic and stifling. So that's why these words feel good, because you're capturing like an energy versus a specific task. And I can hear the comments that are like, well, you need a specific task to like get that goal. But I'm just gonna say, for me in this season of life and for where I'm going, I need to create the kind of energy and atmosphere that I want to live in. And then those kind of more granular goals will enter in and play a part. But what I'm sharing today is just these words and the energy for my 2026. And I'm sharing, and I will tell you, I didn't think that I was going to share this with really anyone. I think I shared it with like a few close friends, and then clued in my husband, who loved them and thought they were hilarious. But I want to share them. I want to share them so there's an understanding like what's about to happen for 2026 from my audience and from you guys. But then also, I hope to inspire. Maybe this is how we capture a year, or this is how we capture like a season of life, with like a word and an energy, leaving space for the unknown, but also having some sort of direction to move forward in. When I think about this very moment last year, so when we were starting year 2025, I did not have a podcast. I was closing a business, and I was also closing out an idea that I had almost spent like a year on creating. So that in and of itself had a lot of endings and closings. And in the moment, it didn't really feel that bad. There was all things I had to do, and like it was all kind of sad-ish. But compared to this year, that was kind of a bummer way to enter the year. And this year is like a completely different vibe. And so I'm sharing different words and energy that I'm holding on to in 2026 that are very different, wildly different than what it has become. And if you were to line this up with my motherhood journey, it fits perfectly. I mean, I came from super hustle culture and a lot of toxic things that didn't quite work for me. I then, got thrust into motherhood, which you guys have heard my story a million times, but now I'm like on year 4 of motherhood, and I've created space. We've, found some roots here and anchored into our new place that we live, our new kind of flow of life, our evolution as a family, and my evolution as an entrepreneur, a career person, a mother, a wife, a friend. All of that is now kind of all coming together, and I feel like I have space for some of this energy, and it feels really, 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 really good. So find some words, if I could encourage you, find some words that maybe feel meaningful and you can use as like a little bit of an arrow. However, I do want to say, don't feel like you have to compare. I've been on all different types of the spectrum, from goal building and whatnot. And again, like if I were to take this moment last year, I had no words to have. Really, I didn't. I had no real direction at that time. I was in this like very quiet moment of reflection and quiet moment of clarity. And I didn't have space for words or energy for the year. I had to create that. And then even past that, if I were to look past that year and look at that year before, different type of energy. So no need to compare if these words do not resonate with you at all. And if they do, like, can we laugh about it and just have fun? And I hope that you can take some inspiration and maybe allow yourself to find some words that can anchor you into whatever the energy of 2026 will bring. So, okay, here are mine, and I'm so excited to share. Okay, first off is unhinged. One of my three words for year 2026 is unhinged. And it's hilarious to me because I was joking with some of my close friends about how funny it would be if like unhinged was like what I focused on for 2026. Like, oh, is this unhinged enough for me? Like, is this unhinged enough for me? And I think it comes with a lot of different meanings. For me specifically, as I think about what that energy means for me in 2026, is it just means like go after it. Like, don't overthink something. Go for something that's absolutely crazy. Don't hyper focus on it. Don't overanalyze it. Don't over critique it. Just go for it. And if it's wild and crazy, it's probably the better option. So that's the vibe. That is one of my words for 2026 is unhinged. And like legit, the question I'm asking myself is like, is this unhinged enough? Can it be a little bit more unhinged? That is happening this year, okay? Like, we're going full hard in for everything. If that means a fun activity with my friends, happening. If that means like something insane that we're doing with the kiddos, happening. If that means some crazy weird parenting strategy we're gonna try with our 2 kiddos, that is it unhinged enough is like legit a question I'm gonna be asking myself all year in 2026. And it's on. Like, it's on, it's hilarious, it feels freeing, it feels hilarious. It does really make me smile every time I think about it, as it actually being a serious word for 2026. So that is one of them. And I am excited to live in that energy. I'm with a lot of kind of overthinking and overanalyzing and like the questioning of, is this good enough? Or can I, post this? Or is this gonna like resonate? It's just like stopping that chatter and just going for it. That's what unhinged means for me. Okay. Word number 2. And this one I cannot take credit for. I heard Chelsea Handler share this as one of her words for 2026, and I was really inspired by it. And the word is ascending. And I love this for like so many reasons. It's such a beautiful word that feels very internal, the ascension of oneself. So feels very aligned. So you're not forcing something. It's more like you're aligning to something. And I love that reframe. I think it's very powerful and very honest and true. And what actually works for somebody's growth is you're ascending, you're moving forward, you're rising above, you're aligning to something bigger and better potentially. But it's this ascension that is just so beautiful. When you think about that from like a self, what you want to achieve for yourself, that is ascending into better health, that ascending your business into something better. Like, it's all like this, this thing that will happen to you versus something that you're forcing to happen. And I think that's very powerful. Ascension also has this, feeling like you're rising, like you're elevating. And I love that from so many levels. You're taking your life to the next level. You're taking your business to the next level. You're taking your health to the next level. Like, it is that ascending. So ascending is the second word. Now, this last word, I think it's taken me a lot of healing to get to this word. And I think if I were to say this 5 years ago, 5 years ago, it would feel very toxic and suffocating. But for me right now, with where I am in what season I am in, this feels really good and actually something that feels really needed for me right now. And it's the word relentless. And I love it because this relentless in so how it is living in like my energy right now is like your relentlessness in what you want, your relentlessness in what you'd like your life to look like, your relentless focus on landing your goals or getting to where you want to be, the relentless pursuit of like feeling healthy or capturing a certain, goal that you have in like business. So this relentlessness, and for me specifically, I take it real personal. It's like the relentless kind of like focus on what I need to be successful. So is that time? Am I being relentless with how I wake up in the morning and that like those first initial thoughts? Am I being relentless in the habits I want to create that are going to be supporting me in this crazy year ahead? So it's relentless, which I mean is such a like, I don't know, almost like this like hyper masculine word, but the energy that is resonating with me when I say it is this relentless focus on what feels good, what I need to lean into, what I know brings me the most success in my life, in business, and all of that. So it is that relentlessness. So the words for 2026 for me are unhinged, which I will laugh at all day long, every day, and ascending, and relentless. That's it. I mean, it feels like 2026. I mean, here for that energy, here for that. And like I said at the beginning, no need to compare your words for others. I'm telling you, I have been there where I couldn't even come up with words because I just was not in that headspace. But for this season of life right now, that's what's feeling right for 2026. And I can't believe it's a new year. It's so exciting. And I can't believe we're in 2026. How did we get here? How did it happen so fast? And leveraging words versus goals, especially in the new year, I think really gives space for the unknown and really gives some space to be creative, yet can kind of be an arrow to how you want to feel for the rest of the year. So that is that. Thanks for letting me share. And I will see you and talk to you soon. But Happy New Year and cheers to all the possibilities that are about to be upon us in this new year. Thanks for listening to It's a Circus. If today's episode made you feel a little less alone, share it with a friend who might need it too. We are building something amazing at the Turner Brothers Circus, an entire space designed for parents to find connection, laughter, and support. I'd love for you to be a part of it. Remember, you're doing better than you think. Stay grounded, stay real, and embrace that beautiful mess. And as always, the show must go on. Until next time.